Here, let me be clear about something. This entire video is going to be based on being deactivated from DoorDash. Not Uber Eats, not Grubhub, none of those. Even that those all apply. But that's not what this is about. This is about all the people on YouTube in this community and other communities surrounding it that go on and on about being deactivated after they've clearly shown their ass for months. I got a lot of people saying, well, Para, you can't even use it on Android. Man, who the fuck said they could? Who the fuck said they could? That wasn't me that said that. That was you guys that said that. There are other people out there that are still using Para on Android. It just doesn't work that well. Have you not been paying attention? Besides, what difference does it make? They got old videos posting them using Para before DoorDash caught the code and removed the code from their system so it doesn't work anymore. Was I the only one that saw that? Okay, fine. Well, I got over to Brash Dasher's channel and I watched his video, and while I like Brash Dasher, clearly, I mean, he's a good dude, as far as I know. I've always liked his videos. He was like the extension of the original reason I came to this community, and then I accidentally found him, and now he's one of the good guys, as far as I can tell. The only thing I didn't like was his last video about Nova Dasher getting deactivated. That fucked me up. That he said show him some love. I'm sorry, but that's kind of fucked up. I'll tell you why. Nova Dasher's been playing the third-party app card for a long time to get views off of YouTube. And while I know some of my adversaries from the past don't understand why I bring that up, it's because it's a poignant point. You wouldn't be doing any videos on YouTube the way that you are if you're not going to get paid for them. You're putting extra money into cameras, gasoline, and sitting in your car making videos when you could be dashing, but actually the YouTube algorithm catches up with you. You make enough videos, do it enough, and talk about the right thing enough, you go up in the algorithm, you're going to get more money. You don't need to dash. That's always been my complaint with these guys that are making money on YouTube by being dashers, and then you'll notice what happens to them later. They stop dashing. They just talk about it. I don't like that. It's not that I don't like them. It's that I don't like that. It's like selling out, in my opinion. I hope that explains a lot of people's questions about why I get on to this about running ads as a gig economy content creators, because when you are running ads, your agenda lies a little bit differently than most. Most people are trying to share stories. You're getting paid to share yours, so they better be damn good. And I've been watching too many good channels go down the fucking toilet because they got started off just like I did, and then they started making pretty damn good videos and that were really hitting home with other dashers. And what happens next? They start getting the ads running, and the only thing that they celebrate anymore is how many subs they got, my 1,000th sub, ad revenue sharing, thank you is all you hear from them. I'm like, it's 17 minutes of thank you and 2 minutes of an actual ride along. I'm sorry, this is not the Grammys, ladies and gentlemen. What this is an economy of gig content creators that have lost their way. They just simply lost their way. When was the last time you saw a video that actually showed you how to do something better? Well, only you know. I guarantee it wasn't one of these guys. No way. Not running these ads. It's very rare. The best they can do is show you pie charts, have some special editing skills, and do things that you can't do or wish you could but don't. Either you don't have the guts, or you don't have the glory. You know, what I mean by glory is that you're not willing to put your actual Dasher app at risk by asking for people to follow you, by asking for people to like you, by asking people to sign up for this app. Yes, I get a little bit out of it. Of course they're going to ask you to do that. The question is, what was the one question that came up about Para? Has anybody ever been deactivated? Because it says in the contract that they can deactivate you for using Para. I know I say that wrong every other time, but I really don't give a fuck for those around Linda. What I'm getting at is, why in the fuck do you think that is? because Para has been decoded by DoorDash. Why'd they do that? Because they don't want it around. You really think they want the drivers around that use it? Or have used it? Of course not. I didn't know that that was brain surgery to figure that out. I thought maybe it was obvious. So I'm going to point it out now because I left a comment on the Brash Dashers last video, which I don't know what that means now because there's quite a few. But I told him my reasons. In my opinion, Nova Dasher got deactivated because he's using third-party apps and he promotes it. A lot of these guys do. I'm just wondering when their time's coming. But he got deactivated for two reasons. He promotes third-party apps that are against the terms of service of DoorDash. It's in the contract. You guys have even talked about it. You said there was no proof they'd ever deactivated anybody. I think we've gotten past that point. And secondly, improperly multi-apping. So I got some response on that from his channel. And this one channel came up, and literally if you read it yourself, you'll see what I mean. I'm not mispronouncing it. There's no way to pronounce it. It's one of those channels. So they want you to only use them and not make as much as you can. Question mark. Like, that's not what I said at all. You didn't read the comment. See, even Brash Dasher has some fucking slightly mentally bent diarrhea for comments. We all do. No big deal. But I never said it was the first party app that you use to actually make the money. You can use that all you want. DoorDash does not give a shit as long as it does not coincide with what you're doing with them, which when you multi-app it is. That's why almost nobody has a 100% completion rate when they multi-app. Thought that was obvious in all these screenshots. Oh, speaking of screenshots, did you all notice that Nova Dasher had one contract violation, which he did not bring up, which only constitutes nothing? We all know that. But what if that contract violation was a red flag to keep an eye on it? Because after all, DoorDash can do whatever they want. There was no explanation for anything. And then he's over there promoting third-party apps on his channel for the last year. You know what I mean? And then on top of that, he's clearly taking the best offers, which means he's multi-apping. Now, his on time was fine, but what was that contract violation for? And if it wasn't for being on time, what difference does it make? Because it exists. And so does the fact that his channel exists with lots of promotions for third-party apps to assist with DoorDash. And others, I'm sure. I've only followed his DoorDash videos. He had me in the beginning until I realized he was making $18,000 an hour in his city. I can't relate. Nothing against him. I just watched somebody I could relate to, which is why I thought we were here. If you can relate to somebody, you watch them, right? If you can't relate to them, what are you there for? I don't know. You tell me. Lots of reasons. None of them I care about. I just want to watch somebody I can relate to. That's it. So, I leave these questions to you only because I'm surprised nobody else has asked them. The dashing trader himself. Show some love. Show some love to Nova Dasher. I'm like, no. Why? What happened? What did I miss? If the guy is doing things against the terms of service of DoorDash, what love? What exactly is love got to do with it, as Tina Turner would say, rest in peace? What's love got to do with it? He fucked up. He knows he fucked up. But he's getting paid from the fools that watch his videos and show him love and support because they liked him so much. That's fine. You like him, so even when he does something that you know is weird, you're going to ignore it? That ain't me. I can't do that. That's the old community that I was in a long time ago. And this new community is starting to show its ass. They're not nearly as strong when it comes to hate and all kinds of trolling. But they're also not as imaginative. If you're going to follow somebody like Pedro, or you're going to follow somebody like Nugs, or one of these channels that are considered to be, oh my God, the Britney Spears of the 90s, you're on your own, guys. I can't help you with that, if that's what you're going to do. Don't you ever feel like it's about time you just pulled out of the bullshit and said, wait a minute, This guy's making a shit ton of money on YouTube and his personal endeavors. It's got nothing to do with DoorDash. Nothing. Even Kimmy's money plans, what is she doing? She's scoring about $10,000 a minute. What's that got to do with you? Nothing. Is there anything wrong with her? No. Absolutely not. But what is it? People like need this thing to follow before they can feel good about themselves, and they're going with the people that are popular by comments and views? I'm sorry, I disagree. Proof? I started watching Brash Dasher when he was getting 150 views a video, period. That's all he was getting. And he was doing the exact same thing he's doing now. It was that good. But now he's getting into 2,000 views plus a video. And he's running ads on YouTube. This is awesome sauce for him. And I'm glad for him because he brought me a lot of info I felt like I could relate to him. A lot of his days were just like mine. I couldn't wait to get home, chill out for a little bit, and watch his newest release so that I could be like, man, that's my boy right there. He knows. I don't get that shit from these other channels. Are you fucking kidding me? That's like me buying a fucking John boat and going out there and fucking watching somebody in a goddamn yacht and assuming that I'm the same guy he is. No, I'm not. I don't have the same problems he does or the same experiences he does. Why in the fuck am I paying attention to his $4 million yacht when I'm in a fucking John boat just want to catch a bass? It's because you've been swallowed in whole by the social media monster that we call views, subscribers. And if you guys don't think that matters, why in the fuck do these guys keep bringing it up? They congratulate themselves when they get so many views, so many subscribers, so many deliveries, so many programs. I think it's a time to celebrate personally. But I sure the fuck got to be careful about something if I'm doing this on a full-time basis. I would not be relating myself to you if you were one of those people that aren't in it or probably aren't going to be in it. At what point would I lose my audience if that was the only subject? And then if I deferred and said, just get out. Go get you an entrepreneurship in the real world. Find a real job. Something that you can do yourself where you don't have to depend on the gig apps. I repeat myself. The gig apps, the ones that got those guys there to begin with. It was a stepping stone, I know, but still. What a way to wash the fucking baby out of the bathtub. I mean, what are you doing here? You're going to fucking use something to make you great. And then once you become great, you're going to shit on it? Why? What did it do to you? That's the same problem I'm seeing with the viewers. Everybody that's taken a bad order, no tip or low tip, has done the same thing. They want to find someone that's going to bitch about that problem. Meanwhile, you got other people on here that are dealing just fine with that problem. Kicking ass and taking names, they don't get near the views. Why? Because they're keeping it real. People like drama. They like anger. Because that's what you feel at the end of the day when you feel like you've been had. Anger. That's why I stopped watching those channels. They're full of anger. You might say, that's positivity. Trying to show you how to do something new. New and improved. New and fun. No. You're telling me to stop doing what I'm doing and do something else. You're the one that's getting paid, not me. I like what I'm doing. I was thinking that you might bring up another good subject again, one that might help a lot of different people. The mass of gig workers. Not gig content creators, but gig workers. And that's what I'm seeing nowadays. It's just unbelievable to me that I got to say this because I haven't heard anybody else say it. I could compliment everybody that I like and I could put down everybody that I don't like, but you guys wouldn't give a fuck about that. The only thing that you care about is what you believe. Am I wrong? Doesn't matter what I believe. It matters what you believe. I think that's where all this problem lies. Nobody really cares what Nugs thinks or Pedro thinks or Brash Dasher thinks or anybody thinks. They like the small part about that's relatable to them, even if it's only the drama. So I come up here and bust the balls once in a while. I bust them balls once in a while. And why? Because it makes me feel better. And if anybody can relate to that, boom, that just happened. A lot of this shit, it's just bullshit. It's just garbage on the fucking surface. And then when you dig deep, this is fucking Armageddon on wheels, man. That's what this is. So before you say, show some love to Nova Dasher or Dashing Trader or anything like that. And again, this is not a smack against the The brash dasher is not at all. I'm just saying, before you say things like that, you might want to consider, just because these guys spoke your name in a video doesn't necessarily mean that that's going to suit your needs for the long term, because a lot of these guys are not in it for the same reason that your followers are. Be careful. It's a very, very steep slope you're walking on. And while you see a lot of people get bigger and bigger and bigger and start to pop, and you're like, Torp was wrong. Watch the ones that sink. They're already getting deactivated. What do you think follows that? Megan Reisman. Her views went down because she's doing gaming now. I don't know. You tell me. She was kicking ass. She was getting more views than Nugs was. I think she was getting more views than Pedro's was, verbatim, at that time. She got too money hungry, man, and she went for it. You know you can't bitch at a customer. You know you can't cuss at a customer. You know you can't do any of that stuff, but she went and did it anyway. And then she got all the love for being deactivated. Did I ever once say that it's not appropriate to be aggravated with a customer that's hard to deal with? I never once said that. What I said was, don't do it. Call Dasher support or let it go. That's the job that you entitled yourself to when you signed that contract that said that you were not going to use a third-party app for assist, and that you would not use their platform for anything fraudulent or suspicious. And you got all these cats, all of these yahoos up here running amok, making everybody believe that DoorDash is the bad guy. Why? Because they fucked up and got deactivated. And they need your support, because they've been crying about no tip, no trip for years. And now that it's finally bit them on the ass, I bet you $1 million they're trying to figure out what to do with their fucking channels now that they have no content about DoorDash other than bitching about it. Ain't that a bitch? Or their content go, now they gotta do something else and hope people catch on to it. Maybe they'll do something fun and exciting. Better hope 10% of your original DoorDash audience wants to see it, because being monetized ain't no joke. You're not going to get paid unless people watch, so you better keep them active. But you lost to DoorDash, so what are you going to do now? I don't know. Maybe we'll do something better than this. But what I know is this. Every single time when I got deactivated for no reason, unlike Dashing Trader who got deactivated and clearly said why, because he was fraudulently using the system, and you guys sucked his dick. What the fuck was that about? Okay, fine. So if that's your taste, that's fine. I still boggles my mind. But nonetheless, it is Thursday evening and I had to vent, and I just did. There's certain things that I can't let go of, and that's one of them. All this bullshit that's been happening in the months past is, I don't give a fuck about that. Oh, you got the time wrong and you didn't show up for this and that, and you private your videos and you're a troll, and oh my God. Do you guys realize I got my period 40 years ago, and I actually went into menopause just about 4 years ago, so I no longer get my period. In other words, I'm not losing my mind. I got fuck about that shit. When you lose your mind on YouTube, it shows clearly. And there are channels out there that think that I'm just here to troll. They've lost their fucking mind. They haven't seen a goddamn video I've made, listened to a word I fucking said, other than some chopped up bullshit they put on their own channel and fucking made it their own. Spun the fuck out of it. Those are your heroes? Really? Okay, well, have a hero. You know what I mean? Oh, just so everybody knows, Batman was fake too. Watch your heroes. You know what I'm saying? Fuck them. You're your own hero. Talk to yourself. You're your own best listener. You'll get it right eventually. You don't need somebody else to tell you what the fuck. Torp out. Torp here.